ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jessica Varney, and I'm here today to talk to you about how to change your own oil. For most of us, an oil change means jumping in the car and heading to the Jiffy Lube and having someone else do it. But it is something that you can do for yourself. In today's speech, I'm going to talk to you about the benefits of changing oil yourself, how to decide what oil to use, the steps to change your oil. First, let's look at the benefits. An average oil change at a Jiffy Lube costs anywhere from $30 to $65. If you change the oil yourself, you're going to pay anywhere from $15 to $20. That's a good savings over the years. Also, a benefit of doing your oil yourself is you can learn more about your car, more about the parts, where they are, and the working order of things. Choosing oil is very important because it lubricates the workings of your engine. In order to know which type, amount, and how often your oil needs to be changed, you should see your owner's manual in your vehicle for the manufacturer recommendations. If you use too much or too little, it could decrease your miles per gallon and the effectiveness of your vehicle. Now let's take a look at what you need to change your oil in your vehicle. First, you'll need the oil, the filter, an oil pan, and make sure it's big enough to hold all the oil, a socket set, a funnel, make sure it's clean, you don't want to put any dirt inside your engine, a filter wrench, stabilizers, a jack, a flat surface, and paper towels and kitty litter for any spills. Before you get started, you want to make sure you have everything you need. If your car needs to be jacked up, make sure you're careful. And if your car has been running, allow it to cool before you get started. Now let's look at the steps of changing our oil. First, we're going to want to drain the oil. You want to locate your oil plug on the bottom side of your car. I also gave you a handout with pictures so if you can't see. But it should look similar to this. Once you've located your oil plug, you want to take the oil pan and place it directly under the oil plug. Now it's time for using the socket wrench to remove the oil plug. Remove it slowly. You want to loosen it with your socket wrench and then continue by hand, pushing inward to apply a little bit of pressure just to prevent oil from leaking out all over your hand. Once you get the cap out, you want to set it to the side and allow all the oil to drain out into the pan. Once the oil has drained out, you want to replace the plug and tighten it with the socket wrench. Step 2 is changing your oil filter. Your oil filter is going to be located on the side of your engine. It will look similar to this. This is the oil filter in my car, and there's also a picture of it on your handout. You're going to need the filter wrench to remove the oil filter, and you want to snug it up around the black end here and loosen it with the socket handle and the filter wrench. It'll fit into the filter wrench. You can loosen it with the socket wrench or the filter wrench at first, and then you can continue by hand. One thing to keep in mind when you're removing the filter is once you get it off, you don't want to dump it upside down because there is oil inside of it, and you don't want to make a big mess. After that, make sure the gasket is removed. It's a little rubber ring, and then it's time to put on your new filter. In order to do your new filter, you want to first make sure that you lubricate the gasket on the top of the filter. It's going to be a little ring, and in order to do that, you use the new oil, dip your finger in, and go in a circular motion around the top of it. After you've done that, it's ready to go. You just screw it back on where it was in place, and just tighten it by hand. You don't need to tighten it too much. Step 3, we're going to put in the new oil. Make sure you've done step 1 and 2 properly, including putting the filter on and making sure that the oil plug is in place. The oil cap is going to look similar to this one. They're usually on the front when you open the hood, and it's going to usually be yellow. You want to remove this cap and put clean funnel in the hole and pour in the new oil slowly. Once you've done that, You just replace the cap, and the new oil's in. Now we're going to check the oil levels. In order to do this, you want to turn your car on and allow it to run for 3 to 5 minutes. Then you want to turn it off, let it cool, and then you want to locate the dipstick, which is, there's a picture in your handout that shows where the cap and the dipstick are in regards to each other, and it will most likely look like this and be yellow. Once you locate the dipstick, you want to remove it, wipe it clean, insert it again, and pull it out. This will show you an accurate reading of where the oil level is in your car. After you've done that, if it's not in the normal range, then add oil. If not, you're ready to go. Step 5. We're going to want to document what the mileage was in our car when we did this, when we changed our oil, and keep track so that we know when we need to change our oil again. Also, if you have warranties for your car, you want to keep the receipts in your manual just to make sure you have all the stuff you need for your warranty. Step 6. We're going to dispose of the oil. Now this is important. Used motor oil can be recycled, and it's used for generating power, and it also, if you recycle it properly, it will prevent environmental damage. So you want to make sure you put the dirty oil in those clean jugs that the oil came in, and make sure the container is secure when you're taking it in your car, and you want to take it to your local auto parts store. Any auto parts store will recycle it for free, and that's the best way to make sure it gets taken care of properly. And that's it. You guys have changed your oil in your car. Is there any questions?
How much oil do you drain off? Do you just put a quart in?
No, you drain all the oil from your car.
I know, but how much is in there? What size
It
container do you use?
depends. It actually depends on the car you have, and checking in your ownership manual will tell you how many quarts you'll need. It's usually 5 to 6 quarts.
Okay, so that's how you can judge what your pan size is that you're gonna.
Yeah, but you want to make sure, and you also don't want to change your oil on a hill, because if you do that, the oil doesn't go into the pan, it spills everywhere. So it's very important not to do that. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.